Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Elisa from Dragon Stitches. Remember me? I haven't had probably in over a month a video, and there are several extenuating factors that caused that. One was illness last week. Actually, last weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, I got hit with a massive cold that lasted almost a full week. And then school has been stress central for me, and everything else has prevented me from making this video, which is so annoying because on January 31st I had a finish that I really wanted to show you guys all as soon as possible, but I kept waiting because I was waiting to show off my finish because I was waiting for my next part of the Birthstone dragon stitch along to come in. So I was going to stitch that up, and then I was going to have a finish and a mini finish, and that's what I wanted, a little more content for the next video. So of course that didn't happen, so I got a finish. Anyway, I'll just start showing you stuff and I'll tell you what happened in the meantime. So first to the finish. And I'm actually really stoked about this one. Really stoked about this one. I'm still recovering from my cold, by the way, and I may have to chop this video up if I start sneezing or coughing like a mad woman again. So, here it is in all of her glory. I think you guys know what this is going to be. Oh yeah! She's done. All completely done. And I really hate this camera because it washes out the colors in this fabric so much. The blue and the pink are much more noticeable in real life. It gets completely washed out. Yeah, isn't she great? Oh, all that white, so much white in her hair, in her boots. There was white everywhere. I didn't think I was gonna be able to. Sorry about that. I didn't think I was going to be able to, actually finish it all, because every single time I thought, oh, I'm almost done, I saw another part that had white in it. So, yes, super stoked with having her finished. She's just going back into my stitchy bag for now. She's just in a Ziploc bag. And that's mainly because I have an interesting idea of how I want to frame her, and I don't really think I have the funds to do that yet. I really want to do a round frame, and I know if I go to a framer's that's going to be crazy expensive. So I want to see if I can look around and maybe find either a clock that I can take apart, because there's a lot of clocks that have really nice frames on them that are easily taken apart and then you can just use them as frames. At least I think so. I'm hoping so. I'm taking that guess that I could do that. So I'm looking at some clocks. I'm looking maybe at, I might do like a hoop maybe and add some kind of embellishment on the outside of the hoop. What was that? There was a fluff or something, probably some cat hair. So yeah, so she is finished. I finished her on January 31st, so before February, which was my goal, which is very awesome. So I'm getting messages apparently. Anyway, not important right now. I'm doing a video, finally. So I got her done, and like I said, I was gonna wait for the Birthstone dragons to come in, and I was gonna do that, and then I was gonna do a video with both of them. I don't like how she's getting creases. May have to find a bigger Ziploc bag for her, because she's getting all creased up. Maybe I could roll her or something. I don't know. Is that possible? Can you roll them? I guess you can. I don't really have anything to put it in. It could be rolled. Anyway, that's you can see it on the back. I'm so happy with her. I started her in I think it was, what was it? No, it doesn't fit in this freaking... There we go. Maybe now it'll fit. I started her in April of 2015. So just under 2 years. But there was a lot of breaks. I didn't touch her for months and months and months on end because she was frustrating me. But now she's done, and I'm so happy. She's my third kind of biggish, medium-sized piece I've done since I got back into it. Like, you can see number 1 there, and then I did my Crescent Moon Dragon, which you guys have all seen to death, and then this one. So I've started many other bigger ones. There's about to be a confrontation on the couch between the kitty and the puppy. No, the cat's just coming up and getting something to eat. So I wanted to wait until the Birthstone Dragons were in, and I had started it, so I just had a little bit of a WIP. I didn't want to just do it. There's Molly. Hi, Molly. Yeah, I'm talking to you. She's mad because her food is behind that curtain. But I have to have the curtains closed, so she doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, you do. She'll go this way. Watch. There she goes. She'll find it. She's a smart kid. Anyway, so I wanted to wait until the Birthstone Dragons was out. And so they released it, or Brittany released it, and very pretty amethyst dragon. Are you going to go or not? Go on. There you go. There. Now everyone's happy. Okay, so what was I saying? So, Birthstone Dragon. So it was amethyst, all kind of purples. I made tiny little adjustments to it. Nothing serious. I started with all the colors, and it was working really nice, and it was great. And then it wasn't. I got to the back stitching, and unfortunately the back stitching was almost impossible to follow. And I don't say this in a criticizing way. Brittany has been absolutely amazing so far in the stitch along. She has taken everyone's suggestions to heart, and she really obviously wants to make sure that everyone gets the best experience they can. That is so obvious. So that was just my little disclaimer. Brittany is the best. She is putting out an amazing stitch along, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. Unfortunately, in tweaking a few of the settings in her pattern, the grid as well as the back stitching were both black and almost the exact same width, especially where the grid would have thicker lines to mark the 10s, and those were almost exactly the same. So it was confusing, to put it lightly, and I was getting very frustrated with it. But I know it was mentioned on the stitch along on the Ingleside Imaginarium Share Your Work Facebook group, and it looks like Brittany is again taking everyone's concerns to heart, and I'm hoping that the next piece of the pattern that she will have adjusted the grid and backstitching so that it's more noticeable, and then I can go back and finish up the backstitching, because I honestly I can't do it at this point with the as it is. I don't know, it might be better if you print it off, but I'm working off a PDF and I zoom right in and it's basically the exact same size, so really hard to differentiate. I kept going over pieces and I was like, that doesn't look right, I don't think I put the right one in there, I think that one's supposed to go in there. It was too much second guessing and it wasn't fun, and for me cross stitching has to be fun. So I decided to leave it where it was and to finish the back stitching next month, at the beginning of the next month, when I am sure it will be much improved. But here she is. This is Willa. Willow the Wyvern. She's a wyvern because you can see her hands. She's only a 4-limbed animal, as apart from the European dragon. The Western dragon is a 6-limbed, 2 front legs, 2 back legs, 2 wings. Wyverns, their wings and their front appendages are the same, almost like how birds or bats work. And then they have, of course, the hind legs. So that's Willa the Amethyst Wyvern. Very cute. So yeah, you can see some of the back stitching. I'm not happy with it. It was a lot of second guessing, and I think there's quite a few places where it's not right. I did make one substitution. I made all of these spikes, so all along the back here and along the tail. I used a Weeks Dye Works color called Ultraviolet. You probably can't really see it's a very, very subtle gradation, like most Weeks Dye Works are. So it's very hard to see, but it just adds a little bit something special to it. So really enjoying it. Very much so. Haven't finished it, which is niggling on me a little bit because I've been really wanting to, finish each one in the month it comes out, and I just don't think I can do it with this one. I was too frustrated. So I had to do something new to kind of take my mind off this. And I felt like I was wasting time on this. I didn't want to work on it, but I knew I should work on it because it was my Sal, and I had all these expectations of myself. So it was just all around bad feelings. So I decided to say, nope, I'm just going to put it away for now, and then afterwards. Is this the piece? I think this is the scrap I was using for... No, that is not scrap. That is most definitely not scrap. This might be the scrap that I was using for back stitching. Anyway, so I said, nope, I think I'm just going to put it away, and I will come back to it in March when I'm sure that the pattern will be a little bit more on the readable side. This is nothing to say anything criticizing Brittany. She's a new designer. I mean, she's had a couple designers. This is her first Sal. There's gonna be growing pains, and I get that, and I'm totally cool with sorry, adjusting my expectations. I did say I was gonna pause, but that one just kind of slipped out. Sorry. So that's 2 down. So that's my finish, my WIP. And now for my new start. So this one, I think I showed you the pattern last time. This is the one that I'm making as basically my Canada's 150-year anniversary piece. And it is called My Space by Crossed Wing Collection, number 65. And it's a loon, because loons are very representative of Canada. We have one on our $1 coin. I also it's also the favorite bird of my mother-in-law, and thus it's going to be a gift for her. I love the dynamic motion. So I started this, and I was trying to be clever. The piece of fabric I have, it's a mostly square. I think it's like 9 3/4 by like 10 1/4. It's mostly square design. I think it's longer. It's wider than it is tall. So this piece of fabric I had, if I put it right in the middle, I would have had like 2 5-inch strips down the sides, which were doing nothing. And I kind of, such a pretty fabric, I kind of wanted to salvage as much as I could. So I basically moved it over a little bit, and I'm going to try to salvage a chunk from the side once it's done. Unfortunately, I think I may have mismanaged counting or measuring, or even realizing that this might not be the best size piece for this, because it might be a little short. There might not be a lot of, like here on the top, right here, if you can hear me. I wanted to leave at least this much fabric, but I think I'm only gonna have about that much fabric, and that's the end. So it's probably gonna have to be framed kind of closer here, which is a little disappointing, but I didn't realize until I had gotten like 3 days work, and you'll see what 3 days work was in a second. So it's still on my lap frame because I've been working on it, and this is where it's at. Yeah, I managed to get everything but from here up. I did that Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday, that part. So all of this, and all of this was done over 3 days on a weekend. Oop. So sorry about that. That was my mailman. He had a package for me. Oh. And again, so sorry about that. He had some letter mail for me, and he wanted to make sure I had it. I live in an apartment building, and our postman, I think I've said this before, we have slots in our doors, so he does the rounds of all this 32 floors or something ridiculous. So he likes to make sure people get their mail. It's a good mailman. My doorbell is actually this one I got from Amazon, and it is a wireless doorbell, and it is the best thing ever I have found for living in an apartment. I often couldn't hear people knocking if I wasn't directly in the living room, which is where I am now. So yeah, awesome sauce. So what was I talking about? Yes, this. So I got done in 3 days, all that. I don't think I miscounted once. No, I miscounted once, but I only had to rip out maybe 10 stitches. So that was good. Using my little Al needle minder I got as a gift in an exchange last year. So like I was saying, his head is going to come about here, I believe. I counted it out, and I think it ends up coming about here. And then I think I have about that much. Maybe I'll have more than that. I really just have to finish stitching it and seeing where it ends up, because I keep trying to guess and it's not working. This is Fabrics by LJ fabric that I had picked up in one of his sales last year, and I absolutely love it for this piece. It looks gorgeous. It actually looks like water spraying up. It's perfect. So yes, this is gonna be my main piece right now until I get at least a big chunk of it done, if not all of it done. That's my thing. I have 8 weeks left of school, which is why there was the aforementioned stress. 8 weeks left of school before I start my 4 months of internship. It's okay. Dante was freaked out a little bit by the postman, so let me just reassure him in just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so everything should be good now. Dante might come up and say hi. There he is. Hi, Bubby. Yes, very concerned about the postman. So like I was saying, I have just about 8 weeks left until I have to have an internship for my college program. So it's a 4-month internship. I have to actually start looking for which. Hi, yes, I know. I have to look for where I even want to have my internship. So this last weekend, actually, the reason I didn't do any stitching this last weekend, I was at what they call a game jam, and it basically is a challenge to create an entire video game in 45 hours. Non-stop game development. It was actually quite amazingly fun. Crazy, I only slept 6 hours in the entire 45 out of 45, so that was nuts. But it was so fun and so exhilarating and just great, like just fantastic. So I am getting really excited for my internship. I just don't know if my internship is going to end up cutting into my stitchy time. So I'm trying to get as much done on the loon as possible so I don't fall too far behind, because we do kind of want to give it to her for her birthday in June. It's looking more and more like that's not going to happen, but I really still want to give it an honest try. So I think that's about it. You know, FO, WIP, and a new start. That's it. So I have, exciting news. I got my, you can't see it, but Dante's right here. Hi. Hi. I recently got I used to do all my computing from here, and I recently got a desk chair, so I actually can do my work at my table, and it helps me a lot better. Sorry, my brain is still mush from this weekend. I'm not the most eloquent thing at the moment, but I've been sitting at the table a lot is what I'm trying to get at, and because of that, Dante misses it. So if I ever sit back on my couch spot, he's almost immediately there, right here. And he's curled up next to me and as close to in my lap as basically he can get. Cause he loves his mommy, don't you? Can we get it? Yeah, go play. Sorry, you did not need to see. I love my dog. He's like the best. He's my first, well, technically my first dog that I got on purpose. I was saddled with an accidental dog once, but couldn't really take care of him because I was just about to give birth. Anyway, that's another long story. But I hope I won't be too long between now and making my next. Oh, I forgot. I was just gonna say something excited. So my first piece of fabric that I ordered from Chromatic Alchemy. Have you guys seen Chromatic Alchemy? She makes amazing fabrics. And I have been coveting these fabrics since I started getting into cross stitch again in 2014. And 2015? 2014 is when I started getting back into it. And just so pretty. But she was in the UK, and I've been hesitant to order from her until the Stitchrovia Stitch Along, which someone had done it on Chromatic Alchemy Elsa, and I just had to have it on the same, so because it looks amazing, like the colors look so good. So I got notification today that my piece is finally completed, so it's probably going to be going in the mail sometime soon. Sorry, couldn't get to the pause button soon enough. Okay, I think that's my limit on speaking. I can't stop coughing. So I'm just going to end it, but I'm waiting for that haul, so I probably won't post another video until I get that haul. I think that's a good time to post it, so it might not be a couple weeks. You know me, I always come back. I'm like the cat next door. Or not the cat next door. The cat came back the very next day. Did you guys know about that one? Or is it just a Canadian thing? Anyway, I'm rambling. Like I said, my brain is still mush from the weekend. So I'm just going to stop myself and let you guys go about your stitchy days. And I hope you have a great one. And I will see you next time. Bye.